Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Digitas Digital Content NewFront 2010. And now, please welcome Digitas Worldwide Creative Officer, Mr. Mark Beeching.
Hello everyone, welcome to the NewFront. Welcome, I am indeed Mark Beeching of Digitas, the Integrated Brand and Media Agency. And I'd like to welcome you all on behalf of Digitas and the Third Act, our brand content arm, to this, the Digital Content NewFront 2010. Okay, this is actually our third annual event now where we all get together, creative media agencies, brand owners out there, a lot of very talented content creators, and I even see a few media gurus among us today. This is all where we get together and we get excited about the explosion of new digital possibilities for the collaboration between brand owners and content creations to create and distribute motion media. So, welcome everyone, thank you for coming. Welcome back to a lot of you who were here last year. And those who are returning, I hope you back me up on this, but I think last year we saw a very interesting and significant shift in the conversations that went on here, both up on the stage and in the whole venue. We saw a shift even further away from just talk about change, always a danger where us marketers get involved, to be even more about doing change, getting on with change. And I think last year, Vice President Al Gore, in his keynote last year, I think he helped us with this shift. He didn't talk about the challenges facing mass media and the interruption ad model. He didn't wring his hands over the crumbling of old distribution and production hierarchies, and he also wasn't tempted into future scoping. You know, the other way of avoiding any action is if we didn't have enough change. Rather, he focused us all with very practical excitement on the here and now of new possibilities, on the here and now of new, powerful and sustainable partnerships between brands, content creators, and critically, those other key collaborators, probably the most important collaborators of all, the audience that we're all trying to reach. Now, certainly just from the projects that I know about, such as the Real Women of Philly project between Kraft Philly Cheese and Paula Dean, another of last year's guests up here on stage, I know that the NewFront proved to be a very real venue for new ideas, new collaborations, and new projects to get cooked up and kicked off. So what we've done this year is we've tried to build on that spirit of practical excitement, and we have even more sensational content creating talent for you going to be up on stage. Now, Rishad Tabakawala, who's a good colleague and friend of mine, also one of those media gurus that I said is with us today. Where are you, Rishad? He, in his keynote at the Forays earlier this year, the American Association of Advertising Agencies, he called for fewer middlemen and suits on stage at industry events. Sorry if I'm offending anyone. And for more artists, the doers and creators of our industry. So I'm hoping today that we address something of Rishad's plea, along with the event that Third Act stage at South by Southwest with Miller Lite, by having more artists on stage. What we're also going to do is going to have, like last year, some sensational show reels of some new and very current digital content, and a great variety of content appealing to very many audiences. And just to dial up the excitement and action on stage, we're also going to have talent up here pitching new content ideas live for the first time at the NewFront, giving brands a great opportunity to partner at the very start of a project. And then also, probably most important of all, during our breakout sessions over here, we will have the Third Act Bar and Lounge, which should provide plenty of opportunity for everyone to take up in person the conversations that start up here on stage and speak to the talent that creates the content on show. So, action and artists. I hope that keeps Rishad happy. Talking of action, Fandemonium. I want to draw your attention in the program to a session I'm looking forward to called Fandemonium, which you will have seen is the key theme and title we've given to this year's NewFront. Sri Srinivasan will be leading what's going to be a fast and furious unleashing of all the themes around how content, community, celebrity, social media, all feed and feed off each other to generate big, sustainable audiences and help build brands. Audiences that may be very different in their behavior and their dynamic than mass media, but are every bit as big, and in many ways even more valuable to brands because of their greater engagement. Fandemonium, this is where the real energy and excitement is to be found in the media and marketing landscape today. Now, last year I tried to do my own little bit to clear the way for new projects to take off by challenging what I saw as some of the very annoying, frankly stupid myths that were obstructing progress. Now, the last of those myths in some ways seemed the most trivial, but I think is nevertheless a significant one I want to go back to. It was the myth and belief that just because 3 minutes happens to be the average length of streamed video watched online, that the 3-minute webisode is therefore some kind of optimum best practice length format for video online. Well, let's get it straight now. It is not. And this is the parting thought I want to leave you with, and then we can get on with the show. Digital and online motion media is no longer a 3-minute trivial sideshow. Today, the NewFront is all about the new mainstream. Digital is not new media, simply added to old. Digital is a total transformation of the whole lot. And the transformation that everyone that turned up to the first NewFront anticipated is now complete. Today, the NewFront, we are not forecasting change. We're all about seizing the opportunities that change has already opened up and made imperative. Now, don't get me wrong. TV shows are not dead. Far from it. I think there are more great TV shows being made today than ever before. It's just that they're not on television. Not TV as we know it. And I just want to take one more minute to share with you one hugely ironical fact and a very short story about my youngest daughter that I think dramatize and demonstrate once and for all this total transformation into a post-television age. TiVo periodically brings out a chart of the most time-skipped, the most time-shifted pro TV shows, with accordingly the highest incidence of ad skipping. And my colleague and friend Steve Farrell from Publicis Modem drew my attention earlier this year to which show was top of that list. It was Mad Men. Wow. No wonder we have to bring a little practical excitement today to new ways that brands and content creators can work together when a show celebrating the heyday of interruption advertising has in it invisible commercials. Interruption advertising is increasingly invisible advertising. Now, my 2-year-old daughter, Larkin, came up with a comment a few months ago that I think was even more emphatic in demonstrating that we were living in a post-television age. In fact, she came up with the most penetrating commentary I've yet heard on the transformation of our digital landscape. Like so many husbands, I'm afraid, I had to ask my wife, my wonderful wife, honey, what's Larkin talking about? She keeps talking about the big pewter. My wife explained to me, oh, she wants to watch her children's show on the big pewter. And that by the big pewter, she meant the television in the living room. To her, what we over twos still call television was just another screen among many on which she watched the shows, she avoided any ads that might come away, and where she manipulated her technology and content every bit as effectively as she manipulates her dad. And believe me, that is some control. So everyone, welcome to the Digital Content NewFront 2010. And this practical celebration of fandemonium in the post-TV age of the big pewter. All it remains for me to do is to introduce our first conversation around how content, celebrity, community build audiences and help us build brands in this post-TV age. It's with great privilege for me to introduce, in conversation with Kara Swisher, Martha Stewart and Ariana Huffington.